And we are live. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. It's another live stream. We have to talk. You know, I heard some news. I just finished the last video concerning Anthony Joshua stating that he wants to get an easier fight after the Ruiz fight. Where we at in this crazy world? We got one on the chat. Counterpunch to you. 3 on the chat. IB, Big Kurt, shout out from Wembley. Counterpunch to you, brother or sister, whoever you may be. But yeah, man, we have to talk. We have to talk. Jasora said he'll squash Prograis. Yeah, he did say that, and I believe him. You know, Prograis is a good fighter, but, you know, size matters. Absolutely. I wonder how that came out. Suleiman, are you... YouTube finally sent a notification. Oh, that's nice. That's cool. I'm glad they're finally doing their job. You know? Yeah, man. Master Glenn, counterpunch to you. Prograis didn't want no smoke from Dale Boy. No, he didn't. That's all he said. But we're number one. We're number one. Oh, let's hit that like button. Listen to Suleiman. What's up, Master Glenn? Counterpunch to you. Tiffany Wright from the road. Love you to come to London when you get in an atmosphere here. It's crazy. IB, I'm coming to London. No, make no mistake about it. That's going to be my next big trip. I do travel a lot for work, and that will not be work, but I'll do work there. How about that? I have to do some counterpunching, but I will be in London. IB, definitely, definitely. But on topic, Anthony Joshua. You know, he's hinting, and he's actually saying he hinted before. Now he just came out and said, hey, you know, I think I should get easier fights. You know what I mean? I think because everyone else is doing it, I think I should do it. You know, what do you guys think about that? Let's talk. Let's talk. Because, you know, oh, interviews are coming soon, brother. Interviews are coming soon. No, I'm not friends with Coogan. I never met the guy. Never met Coogan Cassius. But all in due time. All in due time, definitely. I think he should fight a no-name next. He will sell out in England no matter who he fights. Master Glenn, that's his counterpunch on that. Who else agrees with Master Glenn with the easy, soft touches? What do you guys think? Anthony Joshua, should he take an easy opponent? He's saying what others are doing. He is God of War. He is saying what others are doing. And the question is, should he do it? Is he entitled to do it? Is it in his best interest to do that? That's the question you ask yourself, man. You know, Anthony Joshua's been on a roll since he started, pretty much. Since he did some prospects, you know, he did his progression, you know, but at the end of the day, he got to a stage where he just kept winning and kept climbing and kept climbing and kept winning to the point where everyone else that was already there, Wilder, Fury, White even, etc., all these guys were kind of left in the dust. You know what I mean? They weren't the ones that were talked about. They weren't the ones getting big $1 million fights. Money talks for a reason, people. Money talks because it's a such thing as producing. Joshua produced, you know, his notoriety, his success. Okay, so that guy took off and left everyone else, and he kept doing it to the point where, okay, well, it's time for these guys to catch up to do what he Done already. Well, the problem is they couldn't do that. They tried to fight each other and still couldn't do it. That's the funny thing about this whole ordeal. They could not do that to save their life. You know, that's why it's 325 pay-per-view buys between the two of them, because those guys couldn't sell like Joshua. Because they hadn't had the success. They hadn't put in the work. That's the problem. You know, Master Glenn, I think Wilder has stopped fighting bums now, though. He has to, because he knows he has to. He put himself on a platform parallel to his rival. His rival is Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's other rival is Tyson Fury. But what they did, they fought each other. You know what I mean? But they haven't made progression since last year. Him fighting Ortiz, it's non-important. I'm going to tell you why it's non-important, Master Glenn, and everyone else on the chat. It's unimportant for Deontay Wilder to fight Luis Ortiz, because Luis Ortiz is the guy that hadn't showed you anything else since his defeat. He's just getting a rematch, right? But he hasn't fought anyone of importance since then. So we don't know what Luis Ortiz is made out of, because he never had the opportunity to face anyone else. He didn't get in the ring with Parker or White or Chisora or anybody else. Okay, even Povetkin. He could have fought Povetkin. He didn't fight any of those guys to see where he was at. Now, let's say Luis Ortiz would have beat those guys. That would have made Deontay Wilder's stock rise that much more, right? But Wilder's stock hasn't risen anywhere, because besides knocking out Dominic Breazeale, he tied with Tyson Fury. The best fighter he has on his resume is Luis Ortiz. I understand the strategy with Al Heyman. You can't let the boogeyman, quote unquote, Ortiz, fight someone else and lose. Because if he fights someone else and lose, he has no credibility at that point. That means Deontay Wilder's stock starts lowered, because the first thing they're going to say is, well, Wilder beat Ortiz. Well, Ortiz just got beat by Spilka, right? So who the hell is Ortiz? He's old and washed up. So that cripples Deontay Wilder's credibility. You know what I mean? So he couldn't let anyone else get that opportunity to fight. Therefore, his stock hasn't risen much. Besides a viral knockout, and that viral to this day, right? It was a viral saying. That's like Sweet Brown saying, "Ain't nobody got time for that." I don't know if that came to the UK or wherever you guys are, but that was big 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But besides that, as far as success in the ring, he hasn't really done much. First, he should get rid of Ruiz, then maybe a Char or something. No problem with that. God of War, he could fight whoever he wanted to, but guess what? He could fight whoever he wanted to anyway. The difference between Anthony Joshua and these other fighters is Anthony Joshua didn't do that. He could have fought Emmanuel Char this go around. He could have fought all types of guys. Trevor Berbick. He could have fought Michael Hunter. He could have fought a lot of guys where Rob McCracken actually suggested him to fight these guys. He wanted to fight Ruiz. Okay? And since Ruiz had already reached out and basically begged for the opportunity to Eddie Hearn, they gave him the shot. Okay? So that was that. Suleiman, Joshua was thrown into the deep, and at the start of his career, it was sink or swim, and AJ swimming. Yeah, that's it. But how long can you swim in deep water without taking a break? You know what I mean? You got to catch your breath. You got to let your muscles relax. You got to, if we're using that analogy, you know what I'm saying? Patron Dimitri. Who would he fight? Vladimir Klitschko was his only real fight. Alexander Povetkin gave a little trouble. Dillian White is not an elite level, in my opinion, especially back then. Well, Klitschko, Povetkin, The same for Joshua with Charles Martin. Now, let's say Charles Martin was beaten by Joshua. We know he's knocked out. But let's say Charles Martin was never beaten other than that, right? But since then, he's been beaten by who else did he get beat by? I know Kalnaki beat him. Kalnaki. Uh, he beat him in a tough fight, which was one of my favorites. That was a good fight. Um, but he had Klitschko, Povetkin, Takam, and see Takam was a top fighter too. I mean, he was the guy. He was a stand-in for Pulev, because remember Pulev was supposed to be that guy. He got injured, so that's why Takam came in. You know, um, but Charles Martin was the champion, so he knocked out the champion. You know, and then everyone says, well, Charles Martin ain't really much, which he isn't a elite fighter. I would agree. However, that same guy he could have fought Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder could have made that opportunity for himself. He didn't. When you're unified champ, no choice to fight mandatories. Well, I mean, if you do it right, if you're not protected, if someone isn't paying the sanctioning bodies money to avoid these mandatories, right? Yeah, you have to obey and make those obligations to fight those guys, because those guys have earned their shot. They're mandatory, therefore they should get their opportunity. So you're absolutely right. Siri was out on drugs and Wilder is in America before the heavyweight division blew up. Mayweather only made money in America. Name other fighters made money during that time in America. American fighters, not like Floyd. You know, I mean, you had Andre Ward, you know, which he's Irish and African American. He made some money. What other American made some money then? You know, you're absolutely right. No one really made money, and that's the thing. No one made money. So the people that were fortunate enough to face Mayweather was only making $3 million, $4 million. He paid Canelo $5 million, but these guys didn't complain about the purse. In fact, they were happy. So why is it now these guys are turning down all this money? And that's another problem: greed. Okay. Now Joshua could fight these guys, these lower opposition, right, and give them what Mayweather gave his fighters, and they'll be fine with that, you know. But you know, these guys are like, no, I want more money because I seen and I heard that Anthony Joshua makes a shitload, so I want more than you're offering me. I know, because I know you got it. That's it. But you're right, Dimitri. There's really not a lot of people that made money. You know, Bernard Hopkins made a little money. He was still trying to hang on at that time, you know, but he was a smart businessman. Plus, he was like co-promoter of Golden Boy, so he knew exactly what he was doing. But he's right. Mayweather was the guy that was making all the money in America. He's got to get Ruiz out there and out of there in dramatic fashion, then get back in the gym and make more adjustments. Adapt and overcome. He does. He does have to make a statement, because all eyes will be watching that fight. All eyes will be watching Ruiz Joshua. Okay, that's it. Why is Fury Wayland pay-per-view in the UK? It won't do more than 50,000 US buys, and I think over 50. That I don't know, IB. I don't know. That shit should be on regular ESPN. But wait, it's in pay-per-view where? In the UK? Because I believe it's coming on. When is that fight? It's a good question. Fury Wallin. Oh God. No, it's on ESPN Plus over here, so we don't have to necessarily pay for it, except month to month. It is. Tyson Fury talks a lot of shit, guys. He talks a lot of shit. Yep. So it's this weekend. I wanted to make sure because I was like, I know I heard it was this weekend, but I wasn't sure yet. What do you guys think of that fight? Joshua needs to add to his team. The mad thing is Lewis would be a great teacher for him. Yeah, it would be, but I think Klitschko would have been just as good. And I think he respects Klitschko. I think it's more of like his disdain for Lennox Lewis now. He doesn't even really want to talk to him. He's like, talk to him for what? I don't want to talk to Lennox Lewis. So I think Lennox Lewis would be the last person. But then again, hey, stranger things has happened. Not Dillian White. Derek Chisora is his promoter is David Hay, the same guy that glossed him, fucking glossed me. Ortiz must be a moron. PBC is setting him up to get knocked out by Wilder. I'd move a fighter. Mm. Yeah, I hate that for Ortiz. I don't think he makes his own. At least let his wife or somebody kind of oversee and be that outside looking in that has control over at least an opinion or give him another ear. Lend him an ear to someone that's not about the bullshit that wants to fuck him. You know, because that was a lot of money that he's turned down. And you look at the amount of money that Eddie Hearn offered Ortiz, it was like 5 or 6 million. Mayweather's career, besides Manny Pacquiao, he has never gave that much money to a fighter. His career high is 5 behind Pacquiao. Pacquiao is that was a super fight that does not count. Every regular fighter that Floyd has fought, they've either made 3 million or 4 million, and Canelo got 5 million. Everybody was happy. People act like that shit has been 10 years ago. No, Floyd has not. Floyd retired in 2015, but he really didn't retire until like 17 when he had to train for McGregor. If you want to train, you like count that as a real fight. And everybody said that ain't a real fight, ain't a real fight. I wasn't a real boxer. Okay, true enough. But if McGregor would have knocked out Floyd, what would that have been? A victory for Conor McGregor, and his stock would have rose through the roof, right? UFC would love him. He'd go back to UFC, and then that'll piss him off. He'll go back to boxing, get some more money. He'd probably get a rematch with Floyd. It's no telling. Who knows? I don't understand why people don't understand that boxing is nowhere near a major sport in America, and it wasn't for the UK. Every fighter outside of Canelo will be getting paid nothing. You know, that's pretty much true. I mean, Manny, he makes more than most. You got to respect that. He makes more than most. So AJ ain't built like that. I don't. If you're referring to him taking on easy touches, I don't think it's a good idea for him to take an easy touch. Because I'm gonna tell you why. You start fighting a bunch of lower oppositions, you start lowering your standards, you start doing mistakes because if you're fighting a bunch of guys that, first of all, you don't know, your stock's gonna lower. You don't become. That's like turning into a genius from a genius to someone really slow. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. You know. Only Kalnaki. Only Kalnaki. Yeah, Kalnaki destroyed who? Are you referring to Charles Martin? Deontay Wilder should have accepted his own money. Khalid Muhammad, he knows that. He knows he should have accepted the money. Everybody knows Wilder should have accepted that damn money because there is no the reason that he made for refusing it is he started talking about loyalty. Man, get the loyalty, get the fuck out of here. You went from Golden Boy to Al Heyman. You weren't loyal to fucking Golden Boy, and they put him on the map. Him and Danny Garcia. Now everyone wants to talk about loyalty. You know, when they asked Wilder when he first turned down that money, I do recall Shelly Finkel popping up and butting in. Let me finish this because this is a bit. Let me answer it because it's a business question. We kind of seen Deontay Wilder kind of, look at him side eyes, ass like, motherfucker, I was talking. I was talking. So you think Ortiz wasn't allowed to fight those fighters because I'm curious on why none of these top 10 fighters fought each other outside of the champions. Yes, I don't think that Ortiz could fight anyone. He probably thinks he could have, but I don't think he's bright like that. I don't think someone has really enlightened him, right? On what's going on in his career. Boxing is a shitty business. Okay, they don't want this guy over there to fight because for someone like the style of Ortiz would have probably gave AJ a lot of fucking problems, you know. But then, to be fair, if he fought Ortiz, he knew that it's a dangerous southpaw. Because what you can do, you can call Ortiz old, you can call him behind over the hill, you can call him whatever you want, but you can't call him non-skilled. Because the man has skills. So that would have been the fight to happen. And that probably would have sold more than, well, I can say Joshua Wilder, but definitely more than Wilder and fucking Fury. You know? How do you avoid $100 million saying we got our own plans, then announce 2 fights? Before any of the fights, you say you want AJ after Ruiz. What a waste. Ezra, yep, I don't understand that either, but people will defend it. It's amazing how loyal those people are, but they will defend it, so you got to ask them, I'm pretty sure they'll give you a good enough excuse for you to, or for themselves to feel better about why Deontay Wilder turned down that money. We have no idea. Gregory Russo, I was wondering where you've been, man. I've been right here. I've just been moving. So, moving stuff around, buying furniture and shit. That's why I'm in the kitchen, because I have nothing here right now. I got to get everything moved in. So, moving's a pain in the ass, though. It is. Life Lover, what's up, fight fans? Counterpunch to you. If you read my message from 10 minutes ago, I didn't see your message from 10 years ago. Okay, now that I think about it, Mayweather didn't have American competition. No, not really. He should have fought Lara or somebody like that if he wanted to test his boxing ability. Because Floyd is a boxer. Yeah, no credit for ducking 100 mil, 120 mil. It's crazy. To be fair, AJ is not the best heavyweight right now because he lost his chance to redeem that spot back. But you have to be honest. You lose your spot. That's right. He lost his spot to Andy Ruiz. So my question is, why isn't Andy Ruiz the best in the world? The things are all the same, none of those guys have fought AJ or any really true guys at this point. Never heard of that deal. Scance rants. It was 120 million. See, you have to take away the 20 million goes to the mandatory for Brazil. So they were going to compensate him $20 million for that, Scance rants. And then 50 for Joshua, then 50 for Joshua. Probably one in the UK, then one over here in the States. It would have been balanced. Whoever won, they would have made some money, a lot of money. And I don't see why. It's just crazy how arrogance can blind your own intelligent mindset. You know, ignorance kills in a sense, man. Do you think Lennox Lewis will come out of retirement to fight AJ or UK? Hell no, David Perez. He ain't doing none of that shit. LaRon 9817 in the building. What's up, brother? AJ should go ahead and take a light touch after Ruiz. You know, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I wouldn't say it would be the best thing because if I'm Joshua, I'm like, I don't need. Do you guys remember the press conference after he lost? He was beaten by Ruiz. He was like, fuck that. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to touch up. Nah, nobody does that, bro. And it kind of pissed him off that it asked him the way he was, replying, about talking again. But after AJ beats Ruiz, he won't want that smoke. George Golden, I gotta agree with it. I don't know what the hell, Wilder's thinking, but then I really want to know what Joshua's thinking at this point. You know what I mean? Like he comes out and he says that, like, oh man, I don't know. No, Mike Tyson was more exciting than Wilder. Yeah, he was. Mike Tyson was the man. He was a man for so many different reasons, Every heavyweight boxer out there is boring to watch except Wilder. Okay. You never seen Usyk. I guess he's technically hasn't fought in the heavyweight division yet. Wilder turned down NBA money. What a moron. Yeah, he turned it down. It's a damn shame he turned it down like that. Because he would have reaped the benefits of it. We wouldn't have had this, wouldn't have happened. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how Joshua would want to be like them. Tyson was a cheater. How was Tyson a cheater? Pacquiao in his prime was almost exciting as Mike Tyson in his prime. Excuse me, guys. Pacquiao was exciting. He was an exciting guy to watch. Punches and bunches, aggressiveness, he calls it. Quick hands. Power also. Yeah, he was a beast. Deontay Wilder was never going to sign the DAZN contract, especially after all the negative comments Eddie and Deontay made about each other. Fecal and Heyman had something in their contract for Wilder. I truly believe White beats Wilder. I don't know about that, George Golden. He'd have to be smart. That's all I can tell him. He has to be smart because if he's not, that's your ass. You know what I mean? Who wins if there's no knockout in Ruiz Joshua? Joshua land enough jabs to lead the scorecard. A lot of people talking about Joshua, but you know what? A lot of people need to worry about the idea of it going to the cards. And then who wins? You see what I mean? But anyway. But the judges, they do their job, whatever, They score these fights the way they're supposed to. I think the judges are neutral, so none of them are from there. So that's a good thing, We don't want a Fury versus Wilder. Oh, it's a draw. No, God. That would suck. I want to see Miller versus White. Chemical Warfare 2. That would be great. I would love to see that too. I would love to see that. Joshua only wins the rematch when Ruiz, if he loses some of that weight, he can't be weighing in at 245 plus and gassing after. He can't. I'd rather be a blind moth too. He can't. What is the only boxers can't go to? Wilder is the only boxer that can't go to the other country to fight. Well, everybody's trying to be like Mayweather, Hey, yeah, you're gonna fight over here, only fight certain places, yada yada yada. Hell, they could have had it in Canada. Chris Serrano in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. White will fight a good fight against Wilder, but will get knocked out eventually. I believe that because I think White will try to get too greedy, you know. And if he doesn't hurt Deontay more than likely will hurt you. I disagree. I think AJ making a huge mistake losing so much muscle so fast. I do wonder how the hell he lost all that weight that quick like that. He looks like he's like 19 now, you know. I feel Tyson lost respect in the second Holyfield fight. Okay. Mayweather earned it through, though, when he beat De La Hoya, he became the A side. Yeah, he had to, but he had to go through Gotti first, then De La Hoya. And it was a split decision. And then he did not give De La Hoya the rematch. That's the crazy thing. It was in the contract. So Floyd was like, I know how to sell this. I'm just going to fucking retire. And that's what he did. He beat Ricky Hadden. He was gone. He didn't come back till 09 or early 10, right? Wilder reserves his credits. We can't just act like he is irrelevant and don't exist. This is the hardest puncher in the history of the heavyweight division that is still alive today. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Imra Zafar, counterpunch to you. I'd rather be a blind moth. Counterpunch back to you. Wilder's competition makes him non-existent. He's showing a buzz. He's just not where he thinks he is mentally. You know what I mean? That's the problem. A lot of people think, man, I got this. You know, you're not. Lower tier champion. He came back after De La Hoya retired. Okay. David Perez. Floyd was just waiting for guys to get older. I think people avoided him, therefore he got that type of mindset. You know. His brother retired. Didn't give Oscar a rematch. Nope. Kurt, what do you think of Devin Haney? Devin Haney's a good fighter. You know, he wants all the smoke. That's a good thing. He signed with a good promoter. That's a good thing, right? He's going to get paid. He's probably already been paid. Kurt, you reading? Moonshine_Blade. I'm just reading the comments. The zone popping is the next Roy Jones and Sugar Ray Leonard. H Money, we got to find out. We got to see what the guy's made out of. We want to see if he's that Roy Jones Jr. stock, that Floyd Mayweather stock. We want to see what he's made out of. We have to know. Mayweather didn't give Oscar the rematch because Oscar wanted the same split from the first fight, even though he had lost. Sounds familiar. Yep. Get the lion's share of the money. Fury was taking hits from Vlad. Every time Wilder caught Fury, he went down. He did. That's a good comparison. But to be fair, Wilder was dropped several times by Klitschko. Fact. Logan Paul versus KSI will generate more money than Wilder's next two fights combined. Suleiman, I heard that. You need to go ahead and screenshot that because that's a bold prediction. That's a bold prediction. But you don't know. It might sell. The shit might go viral. Who knows? Those are big, huge YouTube guys with millions of subscribers. Like Joshua got what about 300, 400,000. That's a huge difference. So, the most will be entertaining, if not that profitable. Okay. Davey, salute, Moonshine Blade, salute to you, and Counterpunch as well. This weekend is full of fights. Absolutely, it's going down to this day. To this day. Lamar Jackson is the next Mike Vick. Okay. Sands of time. Why is Logan versus KS even a thing? Because those are YouTube guys, and they had some bullshit head protective fight last year to see. It was kind of like a grudge match, but now they're really going all in. They've been training. They've had physicals, you know. So we'll see what they can do. It's entertainment, to say the least. Always confused to me that Klitschko KO'd Wilder in sparring by Manny Stewart said Wilder was the future of the heavyweight division. That rumors doesn't. Of course it does. It does. Of course it does. Because Manuel Stewart was looking at him. He's the next best thing. The next best thing. They already knew what the 411 was. They were not going to put Klitschko in there with Wilder. Or should I say Wilder in there with Klitschko? That wouldn't have been a good fight. I see Deontay already throwing wild at someone technical. If they land, they land, though. I believe if Wilder fought Joshua, if Joshua don't catch him early, Wilder would catch him late. Anything could happen in that fight. Anything, But ultimately, Wilder has that equalizer. He can hit you and do all types of shit to your brain, He doesn't really go a lot to the body. He throws left hooks weird, like they never showed him how to throw a left hook. But that right hand, that's it. Let's see. Wilder has a better chin than AJ. Hey, well, guess what? Moonshine _ Blade. They have to fight the same people first, right? Wilder would be crucified by a pure boxer. And that's the Bay 1986. Yeah, you know what? You got a point. You got a point there. Wilder would be crucified by a pure boxer, of course. Ortiz is a pensioner. Wow. If Wilder was giving Klitschko bad work, why would Klitschko keep him in the camp? Why would Manny Stewart say Wilder's the future? Because he knew Klitschko was on the way out. Okay? He knew that Klitschko wasn't going to be around long. That's why. And I think he meant it like, okay, well, after Klitschko, this guy is going to be up and coming. Wilder never fought a puncher, though. No, he never. He never fought a puncher, and that's what people don't realize. He could get hurt. You see that right hook that caught him in the Ortiz fight? That could happen. How do you think Shannon Briggs would do if he fought now? He'd do pretty good. Let's go, champ! Let's go, champ! He'd do good, Sands of Stone. He'd do fucking fantastic. Because he is one of those guys that eat, sleep, dream, shout, rant, boxing. Ortiz is a decent puncher, but and it's funny, Wilder said he couldn't punch, but he hurt you. So that made fucking Deontay Wilder look like a dumbass. I told you couldn't punch. No, well, he hurt you. He punched you and hurt you. So I guess he can at the end of the day. Why Usyk ducked Briggs to fight Sponge? I don't know. Sponge is an undefeated young fighter. I think that would be a good route. I think he was more of size, maybe. That's a big guy he's with, though. Sponge is pretty big. Can't wait for the Usyk fight. Me neither, George Golden. I can't wait for that shit. The zone could get many of his opponents out there. Kurt, let's celebrate the next Floyd Mayweather Devin Haney this week. Salute to you. We have to see what he's made out of, people. We have to see. So, Anthony Joshua, should he or should he not take on an easy fight? You guys tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. What do you think about Tyson Fury? Lineal claim, Lennox Lewis was lineal and retired as a lineal. What's your opinion on Fury's claim? It's all bragging bullshit to me, honestly. They didn't mean anything. He doesn't have anything to show. He's a lineal champ by it's that he has nothing but a title, people. You know, the Gypsy King is the title, right? Whatever else he calls himself. It's just a title. It doesn't mean anything. You know? Yes, like the rest are doing. Who you backing for Porter versus Spence? Porter. I'm going for Porter. I hope Porter knock his ass out. Raw dog him, make it ugly. You know, punch him in bunches and make one hell of a fight. Chubb Ali. Joshua could fight another 13 bombs. He'd still have a better resume than Wilder. Damn. Miller versus Joyce. I got to counterpunch that because it looks like that's coming into fruition. You know, I would go. You can't. We don't know because we don't know what Miller is like. We don't know how he performs without the juice or the juices. Okay, so won't know yet. Joshua should take an easy fight after Ruiz fight as far as mandatory the dispute. Yeah, it could happen. But then he has mandatories. So you have to remember, you got to fulfill those damn mandatories, right? All right, Joyce is no good. Damn. I know he's slow, but I think he has some skill set. He gets hit too much for me, though. So the question is, can Miller apply that pain and pressure to him and affect him in any kind of way? Because if he can't, the Juggernaut's going to do exactly what his name is, run you the fuck over. You know, so. Yeah, he's mediocre. Why does Boxing Ego always talk negative about Anthony Joshua? Kyle Howard, I'm going to tell you why he does. He does that simply because he had a video on his channel, some video he was doing. And they flagged him from somewhere from Team Joshua, flagged him. And, you know, they gave him a strike. And when you have so many strikes in YouTube, you can't make YouTube videos, right? Different criteria, but, you know, it is what it is. I think that after that, Boxing Ego's been after him ever since. Matter of fact, he does a live chat every fucking 2 hours, you know. This is Anthony Joshua still. Like, damn, dude. Leave this dude alone. Will you? Miller is unknown with the pharmacy in the system. Absolutely bang 1986. Can Anthony Joshua come back from a second loss? John, I have to counterpunch that. I will counterpunch that as time permits. I promise you. I have 2 minutes remaining on the chat. You know, it's been fun talking to you guys. It's going to be short and sweet, like I promised. But no, I feel that he should keep fighting the better opposition because he's getting the success and getting the fruits of his labor for it. You know, you start doing what everyone else does, that makes you not that special anymore. You know what I mean? You're not unique. You know, you're just doing what everyone else. That's just like you're going to a store and you work at a convenience store and you work with coworkers and the coworkers are stealing shit out of the store. Okay, you're not a snitch, but then that doesn't mean you're going to do it. In fact, I'm not going to hang around you outside of work either. That's how it goes. Spencer's the boogeyman that can't cross the street. LOL. Crawford, the real boogeyman. Suleiman, absolutely. I agree 100%. He is the boogeyman. Ruiz was supposed to be an easy fight. AJ just mad because he lost to a cherry. I don't know if he was a cherry. I know it was a replacement. You know what I mean? A cherry pick is someone that you wanted to fight anyway. That shit wasn't a cherry pick. Like, honestly, it's not. I don't think it's a cherry pick. You know, Parker is working on building himself back up now from 2 losses. Okay, it's from 2 losses. All right, I don't know where the losses are from coming from, but okay. Parker is working on building himself back. Oh, Parker, gotcha. Yeah, definitely not a cherry pick. How can these idiots think that? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with him, man. George, I don't know what's wrong with him. Because it's like you cherry pick with the intention on fighting someone not worth a damn. Right? That's what you do. They didn't want to do that. Rob McCracken, in fact, was like, no, not this one. He wanted that one. So it's up to Anthony Joshua. He picked and he chose everything. And that's facts. Parker will smash Chisora. Fury is the cherry picker. AJ was 25-1 underdog. That's worse than a cherry. Damn. Parker will smash Chisora. We got to see. Bookie's odds don't mean it's a cherry. That's correct. That's absolutely correct. The odds are odds. AJ was favorite. Yep. He's favored slightly in this fight too, Davey I. I don't know about Chisora is very confident after his amazing knockout of Spilka. Absolutely. He's talking shit, demanding more money, cussing people out. He's doing it all. He's doing it all besides slapping people and throwing chairs. 3-1 Ruiz. Fury is a Dasa picker. Okay. Three to one Ruiz. The Chisora KO was brutal on Spilka. It was. But both of those guys have got knocked the fuck out. So, it's a school of hard knocks. What do you do about it? And then what's to do about Anthony Joshua? What is he going to decide to do? You think he'll take an easy touch? The only thing we have to look back, we have to kick our feet back and wait to see if he beats Ruiz, who will he fight next? Because we can counterpunch this right now, because if he beats Ruiz, then Wilder doesn't come along. Okay, well, see you later, right? Fury is a European fighting Europeans in America. Yeah, that is true. No, AJ built his profile on the top 10. You think Dubois is ready for the top? I don't know. I think he should be just a little bit out of the box, out of the cage. Yeah. Wilder was down on the cards against Spilka and took him 10 rounds to do what Chisora did in 2 rounds. Look, styles make fights. Deontay Wilder might take him. He might hit you with that right hand at the beginning, or he might hit you at the very end. Either way, he's going to hit you. So that's that. He ain't trying to work off jabs and stuff like that. So his punch output doesn't mean shit to a power puncher. It doesn't. Dubois is another overrated hype job. You heard it here first. Dubois going to be a problem for the top guys. We got to see. We have to see, guys. But my take on Anthony Joshua, I wouldn't prefer him to do that, because if he feels that the heavyweight division is strapped to his back, that means that he needs to get someone that knows him. I think he does need to add another trainer in the training camp. Not a fucking psychic. Okay? So, it is what it is. But guys, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys chilling and hanging with me. You guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua um, picking easy fights. That doesn't even sound like it goes together. But anyway, it did. And it came from Anthony Joshua. So, is he kidding? You guys tell me. Yes, I agree, Norman Edwards, man, he should retire. Just saying. And please subscribe, and all of you guys been counterpunched. Peace.